it definitely, has shaped my life. It's given me a lot of insight, um, in terms of the problems that we're faced with. Because when I left here, my mother had gone to the East Coast, rejoined my father a year before I left, and then that's how I ended up on the East Coast because, of my mother and my brother having moved out there. And in the interim period, I went back, met my husband, went back to school, had children, became a teacher, and I've always been able, because my husband's an artist, and I consider myself, he's a jazz musician, and composer, I consider myself, a poet, and I wanted to play piano at that time, but I went into teaching, music first, and then now I'm a math teacher. But, it shaped my life in the sense that I now express myself through the arts as opposed to and I'm not saying I wouldn't get on a picket line if I was so moved, if my spirit moved me to do so, but through poetry and through the arts now is basically how I'm trying to educate people. That's why this book, because in the book Diary of an Inner City Teacher, I just look at the the situation in the inner city, give a person, hey, come walk with me in the classroom every day, and then I talk about my own life, as well as some commentary, some of the things I already said to you, some of the things that, I didn't necessarily say that the public school system was designed for failure, but I did intimate that, that it would take, if all this money, like Newark, my city is Newark, New Jersey now, we spend a lot of money, but if they would come to teachers and really ask, what do you think we should be doing? How can we make the curriculum more relevant, to the inner city child, this child who might be ducking and dodging bullets, child who might see a body laying, what you do, see a body laying in the street, child who goes home, we talk about, don't take drugs, and the kid goes home, everybody in the house is getting high, how do we, what do we do about that? Do we ignore it, or do we try and help them make sense of their environment? And what I think will help them make sense, is history. You can start with the Civil Rights Movement. As I said, my kids didn't, they had no clue as to the fact that people actually had to die in Mississippi in order for Barack Obama to run for the presidency now. There was no connection. And this is where me as a teacher and my past experience, and political insight, I think has enabled me to see that people, these young people have to know where they came from in order to know where they're going, have to know what made things the way they are now in order to even begin to think about how am I going to get up out of it, if I so choose to. So that's what I'm about now, educating through the arts, educating through writing, and all the experiences that I went through in the past, the San Francisco Civil Rights Movement, all of that has contributed to, what I have to say now.